kind of got them to a lunge. Now you need to get them to on guard. Right? If they are right-handed or left-handed, okay, if you are facing them and you're right-handed, you want to try to put your left-handers where they can be turning their head to be looking, so they don't have to be turning and looking over their shoulders. Okay, lift your heel. Right, lift your heel. Right-handers lift the left heel, swing it forwards, and line up the foot in front. Left-handers obviously swing the right heel forwards and line up the left foot in front. I always comment that the nice thing about fencing is that we don't have right and left. We have front and back. This also makes it much less confusing if you have right and left-handers in your class, rather than saying, move your right foot when really you mean move your front foot. Okay, so we learn to use front and back. Fencing goes in a straight line. There is no right and left. Okay, I'm right-handed, so I will do some of my demonstrating right-handed. It's good to have the athletes work both sides, though. I'm going to lift my left heel, swing it in front, and line up. We want the heels lined up. If the feet are out of line, balance is less. If the toes pointed off to the side when they lunge, they're going to be going off to the side. Okay, this all has to do with proper technique and safety later on. Lift the heels and down. Lift, bend, bend some more, up, and down. Now, in theory, it should be the same as when we did it from a tension position, but because now we are turned sideways with our body and our head, okay, you don't want them like this. I'm not trying to look at it and give you the side eye. I want to make sure the head is turned straight forwards. Even if the body turns a little bit forwards, that's not a tragedy. Just want the hips turned forwards. Okay? The hip rotation versus torso rotation has a certain degree of natural to the athlete. Old school, yes, fencing at one time we were taught to be as sideways as possible. That's great when you've got a sharp blade with a sharp edge. So now we don't have that anymore. This gives better mobility for the athlete, but you don't want them squared off either. Okay? Again, we're not doing anything with the hands, so they can or just put them on the hips so the shoulders can relax. Lift the heels, bend the knees, straighten the knees, and down. Lift, bend, straighten, down. Lift the front toe, and down. Front heel, down. Back toe, down. Back heel, down. Side shot, front toe, down. Front heel, down. Back heel, back toe. Front toe and back heel. Of course, this is what they'll start doing again. That's all right. And down. Front heel, back toe. And alternate. Then you don't want them rocking and swinging all over the place. Opposite heel, opposite toe. Again, you're going to bend this knee and lift the front toe. And down. Lift both. Bend your knees. Straighten your knees. And down. Lift your heels. Bend your knees. Bounce up and down. Bounce your feet apart. Stop bouncing. Now they feel the sense of tension in the legs. Okay, so they feel on guard not as a static position, but as a dynamic position. And heels should be off the ground. And check that by just having them drum the heels. The side, bounce up and down, bounce your feet apart, stop bouncing. But they don't want to straighten, they're bouncing. Stop bouncing, they should stop bouncing with the heels up off the ground and the knees bent, feeling sitting down into it. And step back. And again, with a group of beginners, they're getting some workout just doing this part. All right? I always explain to the athletes that in the world of sports, fencers have the fourth most powerful quadricep muscles. Number one, offensive linemen in football. Number two, Olympic downhill ski racers. Number three, offensive linemen in hockey. Number four, actually, is fencers. Okay, and not just in terms of absolute strength. So that, of course, that goes to the Olympic weightlifters, but in terms of power output measured as repetitions over a period of time, also. Okay? And I call this starting position. Now, they feel what the on guard is like. So now we lift the front toe, step out, press up, and again, they'll be swaying all over the place. Again, they're learning to find their proprioceptive balance, proper position for their feet, centered on the balls of the feet, and then bend the knees, and it should feel like that same position that they bounced into. Okay, so now they feel what their dynamic on guard should feel like. And step back. Okay. Before you start the moving, I think the best way to get somebody to a good advanced retreat is again to use a series of precursor developmental exercises.